I am going to relate my personal food stamp story, mainly to maybe dispel some of the myths out there and the stigma associated with food stamps. So I'm just going to talk about my experience at the particular office I went to. Now I know it's different depending on where you live in the country. But so you go to your local Health and Human Services office for your county. And when I got there, I was probably there about 2 hours. So probably I saw about 20 people come and go when I was there. And so one of the things I noticed, because I knew I was going to do this video, so I was really aware of my surroundings, and I was trying to take everything, and I didn't write anything down, but, I wanted to remember what I saw for this video. So basically what I saw is everyone in that office was white, and male to female, I just assumed there'd probably be more females. I would say it was pretty even, male to female, which really surprised me. And also age ranges. It ran the gamut. There would be people there in their 20s or in their 30s, 40s, 50s, probably. So male and female. So that's what I found interesting. And another thing is, too, I thought there'd be a lot of kids in there. And while I was there, the only kids I saw 2 kids and their mother. She looked like she was in her 20s. And that was it. It was one mother with 2 kids. That was it of the kids. Everyone else were singles. And another thing I thought was interesting, when I was waiting, for my appointment, I was listening. People, talk on their cell phones, so I was listening to their conversations, and at least 2 I heard talk about the job they had to go to later in the day. So these people have jobs, basically, which I thought that was interesting. They're not just there getting food stamps. They have a job they have to go to. I would assume that they just don't get enough hours to make enough money. And, another thing I noticed about the office, it was a really nice place. They have a big screen TV. Well, not a big screen, but they have like a flat screen TV on the wall. And when I walked in there, I thought, oh, no, I got to watch CNN or some, crap like that. And, but it wasn't. It was basically the whole time, it was on the screen, it was kind of telling you about the different programs. CalFresh is the food stamp program. Its federal name is SNAP. The Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That's its federal name, and CalFresh is its California name. So it kind of explained the different programs you could apply for. And then another thing is, too, which I thought was really cool, it had like cooking videos. So it showed people how to shop, where to shop. It showed different recipes, like healthy recipes you can make. So I was really impressed with that. And they actually had one guy on there. He was talking about how he's a vegetarian. His son, who's a high school star football player, is a vegetarian. And I thought that was kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that. So that was kind of an interesting experience. Anyways, I probably waited there an hour before I got in to see the person my worker, I guess you'd call it. So basically, the demographic or the income requirements of SNAP, of CalFresh, is basically for one person. The most I can make would be about $1,200 a month, and that's gross. So that's before taxes are taken out. Net after taxes would be $931. So that's the most, if you're one single person, no kids, that's the most you can make in order to qualify for food stamps. And then the amount of food stamps you qualify for will depend on how much money you make. Now, for my personal situation, my income, they calculate it from the last 3 months. So I had worked 1 week in December, and I think I made $750 that week in December. And so therefore then they averaged it out over the 3 months, and my income ended up being $250 a month, which was nothing. And so I qualified for the full amount just because my income over the last 3 months was so low. So I qualified for $200, just because right now I'm not working, and that was my income. So, but again, if I get a job, even if I don't make $931, I will still qualify for CalFresh for SNAP, but it just won't be as much. It won't be $200, and you have to let them know. Every quarter they send you a form. You have to let them know if you're working, how much you're making. I mean, everything's just all verified. In fact, as soon as you get a job, you're supposed to call them immediately and let them know, because then that will reduce your benefits. So obviously, if it's just really quickly, if there's 2 people in the household, the most you can make is about $1,600, and then that would be a net income of $1,261. So it just depends on how many people in your family is how much you do qualify for. So you can kind of see in California the minimum wage is $8 an hour. So if you make $8 an hour and you work 40 hours a week, that's going to be too much to qualify. So, but I think what's happening, why so many more people are on food stamps, is because they're not working 40 hours. They may be working 20 hours or 30 hours. And so that's probably why more people are qualifying, because they're not getting full-time jobs. Or they can't get the 40 hours. They don't offer 40 hours anymore, because when you work 40 hours, that comes with benefits and and all that stuff. So anyway, so that's kind of the income requirement there, and obviously it varies by state to state. That's just in California. So what you can get with your CalFresh, you can buy, well, here's the list: bread, cereals, fruits and vegetables, meats, poultry, dairy products. And this is the one that I thought was kind of interesting. Seeds and plants which produce food for the household to eat. So if you actually do have a house where you can plant a garden, those seeds would qualify for under the food stamps. So now here's where what you cannot buy. And here's, I think, where kind of, some of the myths come in. You can't buy beer, wine, or liquor. I mean, you just can't, right? You can't buy cigarettes or tobacco. You can't buy any pet food at all. Does not qualify. You can't buy soaps. So detergent, dishwashing soap, hand soap, you can't buy any soap. Does not cover that. You can't buy, this is probably what surprised me the most, you can't buy paper products. So you can't buy toilet paper. You can't buy, you can't buy tampons. I mean, those are 2 things that are a necessity. It's not like you can go without those. So that kind of surprised me. So no paper products at all, no paper towels, anything. No household supplies, no vitamins, no medicines. You can't even get like aspirin or anything. And here's another interesting one. No hot foods or foods that can be eaten in the store. So if you wanted to get a deli sandwich, just pop in and pop out, you can't do that. If it's a pre-made deli sandwich, you cannot buy that. And you can buy all the ingredients to make up the deli sandwich, but you cannot buy the deli sandwich pre-made. And here's another interesting thing too. A lot of people think you can go to fast food restaurants. And I think that's something that is changing. Not in my area, but I noticed in other areas. Sometimes you can go to like Taco Bell. You can go to Subway. Now you can go to Papa Murphy's because the pizza is not cooked. So it's pre-cooked, so that you can do. But you can in some areas now. It's opening up a little more where you can go to restaurants. But it's not the norm. Like in my particular area, I couldn't go to my local Taco Bell and use the food stamps. Okay, so that's that, and then I was just going to give you a little glimpse of the card. The card basically is just, I don't want to show it obviously because there's all my information on it. So it's just like your debit card. So when you go to the grocery store, you just use it just like your debit card, swipe it, you put in your PIN number that you create at the office, and that's it. It's just like a debit card. There's no stigma associated with it, because I don't even know if the cashier even realizes that you're using your food stamp card instead of, just a regular debit card. So, and also when you use it, say if you do get paper products, they'll total that up separately, so you can, get it all at the same time. Oh, one thing I was happy it does cover, which I was kind of surprised too, is it covers coffee, which I didn't think it would, but it does cover coffee. So that's kind of how it works. And again, it's going to depend on your income. If I get a job, my benefits are going to go down. It's not going to be $200, right? So it'll go down depending. And they're really strict about that. So anyways, that was the only thing I could qualify for. I tried to get, they have something in my county called cash assistance. It's a county program. And it's not really cash assistance. I mean, they help you pay your bills. But it's a loan program. And your car can't be valued over $2,000. So I couldn't qualify for that. So really the food stamps is the only thing I could qualify for. So some people probably have similar experiences. And again, I don't know how different it is if you have kids. But anyway, so that was my experience. Now I am going to, I went to Whole Foods, and I thought I'm going to go to Whole Foods and get some really good food, and I found out it's really expensive. So I probably won't go to Whole Foods again. So here's basically what I got at Whole Foods. Okay, so I'm going to show you my food stamp haul at Whole Foods Market and see if you guys think I got my money's worth. It was, so for all this stuff you're looking at right here, it came to almost $70, which to me that was way, way too expensive, but most of it is all organic. So here's the Organic Girl Baby Spring Mix. I mean, this is just, it's a 16-ounce bag of lettuce, so that's going to last forever. And I got some nice organic apples, and which that's fine. That was like $5, but then just these like 4 little mini Olas. I think it was like $3.50 or something. I'm just not used to paying that much. And then I got some Whole Foods asparagus. I think that was like $3 for that bunch. And then the avocados, which are organic, but they're from Mexico because they're out of season right now. They were $2.50 each for an avocado. I'm used to paying $1 for this size avocado. So that killed me a little bit. And then I got these bananas. Oh, I forgot what the price of the bananas were. But yeah, I mean they are from Ecuador, but they're free trade. And they look lovely, so we'll see if there's a big difference from those in the $1.49 big bundle I get at Grocery Outlet. And then I have some salsa here. I put salsa on everything, so it's like a mainstay of my diet. And then I got 2 bags of edamame. If no one has tried edamame, I'd so recommend it. It's like one of my favorite foods of all time. And it's just loaded high in protein. And all you do, you just boil this. And then you cool it, and then you just eat it. They're just soybeans, boiled soybeans. It's awesome. And this $3.65, this is the Whole Foods brand right here. So I tried to get this as often as I could because it was tended to be cheaper. So I got a loaf of bread. I think this was like $3 for this wheat loaf. And then I got some other kinds of bread here too. I got this nice, beautiful California lavash spinach wrap. Do all kinds of wraps in there. And then I got some tortillas, the $3.65 brand again. The whole wheat tortillas. And then these are just the flour tortillas as well. Oh, these are made in New Mexico. Okay, well, interesting. And so, something about these, only 6 tortillas per package. 6! They're like $2 a package. I'm just not used to paying that much money. But you know, it's like you're getting the organic. And let me come over here. I got some hummus. Always should have hummus because you can spread it on everything. It just makes everything taste better. And then I got my dates. Dates are awesome to have. They last forever. You can take them anywhere with you. They're just real convenient. You can put them in anything, salads, or eat them whole, or smoothies or whatever. And then I always have to have refried beans. If I didn't buy beans to make my own, just I'm probably not going to have a kitchen for much longer. But these are the organic refried black beans, and then I got the pinto beans for my burritos. So I just got some crackers, just some stone ground bite-sized crackers, $3.65 brand again. And then I got some nuts. So they have a bulk item, so it saves a little bit of money. These are some pistachios here, and then I got some almonds here. Some just plain almonds, you know, no salt or any stuff on them. So yeah, it's not a whole lot, but saves you a little bit of money. But yeah, so this whole thing, Whole Food House, $70. Whew. I'm just used to getting that for about probably $40 at Grocery Outlet. So we'll see if it makes a big difference to get all organic and fresh and free trade and everything. So I will report back. Bye.